there guys, so today's video is going to be just another get ready with me using some products that I don't think I have used on camera yet with you guys, and using a palette that I haven't used in a little while. And I also realized that I've only done one look with this palette on my channel, so I decided to whip this palette out today. So I'm going to use the Adept Cosmetics Amunet new palette. I was like, I need to use this palette a little bit more. This was not a cheap palette, and I need to try and use it a little bit more. It's not like I haven't used all the shades, I just haven't really used it on camera at all, besides my first impressions video. And if you guys have seen that, I wasn't 100% sold on Adept Cosmetics with the mattes, but the shimmers are amazing. So I already primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, of course, and then I used the Sugar Lips Shop clear plumping lip oil, I think, or gloss. I ran out of my Luxe lip oil in Dewdrop from ColourPop, so I've been using other ones lately. And then to set my eye primer, I used the Urban Decay Stay Naked powder. So now I'm going to go into the Adept palette, and I'm going to use this shade first, which is called Thoth, and I'm going to use that on my crease. In my crease, I mean. So I'm going to take that and just really just pack it in the crease, and I'm going to use this ColourPop brush. So yeah, I just didn't think that the mattes were that easy to work with and blend out, but this one and the next one I'm going to use weren't as difficult to blend out as the darker mattes in here, which is a little bit weird because it's usually like the lighter mattes that usually are the problem. But for some reason this palette was a little bit more difficult to blend with the darker mattes because they kind of just blended out a little bit patchy. They were still very pigmented. They were just hard to blend out. But I really like this palette. And like I said, this is not a cheap palette. It was almost like 60 bucks. So I want to use it when I can. I was going to use a ColourPop palette today, but I already used ColourPop the past 2 days. So I wanted to use some indie brands this weekend for work. So how are you guys doing? How is your summer going so far? I actually have some plans this month because July is really officially summer here in New York, but our summer started like mid-June because it was pretty hot. Honestly, the whole month of June was pretty damn hot. So I've been kind of started wearing sandals more, and I'm probably going to start wearing shorts more because usually I don't whip out shorts until July rolls around because I like wearing jeans as much as I can all the way up until July. So I wanted to use this palette because I just wanted to do like a green look today. I'm kind of into greens for this summer. I feel like greens are going to be a very trendy color this summer. I actually ordered the ColourPop in the Limelight palette, I think 2 days ago because ColourPop is having their 30% off 4th of July sale, so I decided to order in the Limelight palette because I always see people raving about it and how good it is, so I was intrigued to try it finally, so I ordered it. So now I'm going to use this shade Amon, and it's like that burnt orangey color to define the crease more and darken it up. Because I'm just going to do one of the green shimmers on the lid. I'm going to keep the crease pretty warm and neutral. I just wish that there was like a green matte in this palette. That would have been nice. Maybe swap out one of these shimmers or one of these lighter mattes and put in a green shimmer. I mean, a green matte. That would have been great. So, yeah, that's looking really good. I like that. So, Stranger Things season 4 finale part 1 and 2 came out yesterday. I mean, it's part 2, but there were 2 episodes, so basically I'm just going to call it parts 1 and 2 of the finale, because honestly, I feel like that was just a part 1 and 2 finale, so it was like 4 hours. Now I'm going to use the shade Emotep, which is the darkest matte in the palette, and I'm going to use that to define my outer corners. And I'm trying to give myself more time to get ready now because I have been late like too much to work at this point. So I have been really trying to be on time this week, and I've been doing a good job. So I want to keep that up. I do have to open tomorrow, which is like the first time I'm opening in like a couple of months on a Sunday. But Sundays we don't open till 12, so I don't have to be there till 11:45, so that's not bad. But I am closing tonight and then opening tomorrow, which is not my favorite cup of tea, or not my preferred schedule, but it's fine. I don't even know who I'm closing with tonight, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So now I'm just going to apply some glitter glue, and then we'll do the lid. Okay, and then for the lid shade, I'm so torn as to whether I want to use I don't even know how to pronounce that. The Nephthys shade, I guess, or Osiris. Osiris is kind of just a regular green, army green, beautiful shimmer, and this one's more of like a glittery shimmer. I think I'm going to use the Nephthys shade. It's just so gorgeous. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. I have not used this palette with the NYX glitter primer yet, because I had run out of my... Oh, that's actually applying really nicely with this. I had run out of my pigment primer from NYX, and I thought that they had discontinued the glitter primer, but I found the glitter primer at my Ulta, and I couldn't find the pigment primer. I think they reformulated this because, like I said before, I feel like it's a little bit more less tacky, and it's kind of like easier to maneuver before it dries down because it's a little bit more of a wet formula now, and I really like it now. That is so gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'm gonna put it on this side too, obviously. That's super duper pretty. But I try to do at least like 2 looks with newer palettes. I guess just time got away from me with this one, and I just ended up never filming with it again because I had so many palettes from last year, and then I was just really trying to find a balance with my collection this year, and now I find, since I've tested out every palette in my collection, that it's a lot easier for me to rotate palettes that I would just like to use again rather than being overwhelmed about testing out a new palette all the time. Like I've said before, what I've been doing is just sticking to purchasing 1 palette a month rather than like 2 or 3, because that just gets too overwhelming sometimes. See, this is already like not sticking the way I would like to. This palette takes so much work, and that's why like I have to set quite a bit of time aside to get this palette to work for me, because the mattes, again, they're okay. They're pigmented, but you know, I have to go in like over and over again to get like the transfer from the shimmers to be a little bit more toned down, and also to get the mattes to be more pigmented again. But I find that I don't have to do that with Odin's Eye or Nomad, and that's why I was way more impressed with their formulas than I was with this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a beautiful palette, and the shimmers are gorgeous, but I just couldn't get it to work as easily for me. But I don't know if that's just me. But I also saw that Morgan Turner also commented on the mattes, that she said that the mattes weren't the easiest to work with, but she said that the shimmers were gorgeous, and I basically feel the same way. So just keep that in mind if you were interested in Adept. I would say probably go for Nomad or Odin's Eye, because I just prefer their formula more, and they're just so easy to work with. I have a hair on my mouth, on my tongue, on my mouth, in my mouth, on my tongue. But I still feel like I need to see, it's already getting, do you see how patchy that is here to blend out? I don't have those issues with ColourPop shadows. And I know the majority of people are not in love with ColourPop eyeshadows, but I don't get this with ColourPop. And ColourPop's a much more affordable formula. And the reason why this palette's a little bit more disappointing is because it's more expensive. So it's like, if I'm paying for something that's more expensive, I expect it to perform a lot better. And I just feel like all of these mattes just like do not blend that great. I mean, it looks good. I'm not saying it doesn't look good, but like, it shouldn't take this much work for a more expensive palette to work with. I understand some formulas take some more finessing than others, but this is just too much sometimes. Like, it shouldn't take this long. So I'm just going to apply my brow bone highlight. I'm going to use Max Blanc type because I finally used up ColourPop's Firefly and Hear Me Out. So now I'm going to use up the single shadow Blanc type from MAC, which is this one right here. It's a really beautiful brow bone highlight as well. Perfect for my skin tone. So I'm just going to clean up the under eyes and then we'll do the face. Okay, so now we're going to do my base. I'm going to use this Fourth Ray Beauty Do It Hydrating Hyaluronic Mist. I'm not sure if I've used this on camera yet. So I've been using this to prep my skin, and I've been obsessed with this. Like I said, maybe I did use it on camera, but it's pretty much a straight up dupe for the MAC Fix Plus Cucumber Spray because they're both cucumber scented. And I love this. This is super hydrating. I love it so much. And then I'm going to use my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Just a good classic primer. But I've just been trying to use this up. So I'm just going to use it today. And I do find it's much more hydrating than the e.l.f. one. But I already find that, do you see how much that's transferring already on my eyes? So I'm going to have to put on more of the mattes again after I do my foundation. But that's the issue with this palette, is that they just don't last long enough to justify the price. So I probably wouldn't repurchase from Adept Cosmetics again, but I really wanted to use the palette again. So for my foundation, I'm going to go in with good old Auntie Pat McGrath today. I actually haven't used this foundation in quite a while. I was on a kick with the Valentino foundation for a long time. That is one of my favorite foundations in my collection, but it's also pretty pricey. But it's such a beautiful spring-summer foundation because, like I said, it's very similar to the Anastasia foundation, which is like one of my all-time favorite foundations, but I also love this one too. So I just don't know why I wasn't feeling like using this for quite a while, but I'm like, I need to use this. So, because this is not a cheap foundation either. It's obviously, I think this is like the most expensive foundation in my collection besides the Valentino one. So I was like, I gotta use it. This is almost like, I think this is like a $68 foundation, like the same price as the Valentino one. So Stranger Things was all of the feels. If you guys have seen it, don't spoil it for anyone in the comments. But wow, it was mind-blowing. Like, just so good. And I can't believe it's over now. All my shows are over right now. The only other show I have to look forward to is Better Call Saul. Starts up again next week, but this is the last half of the final season. So that's going to be over probably in like a month and a half, because that's only once a week. It's not like Netflix because it's on AMC. But Ozark is over. Stranger Things is over for now. I'm also going to use the coinciding concealer, which is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Concealer, which I also love. This is such a good concealer. I haven't used this concealer in a hot minute either. I've been loving the Tarte Power Flex one. That one is so good. And that's what I was going to use today with the Valentino. But I was like, let me use this combo today. Probably use the Valentino tomorrow. So anyway, what was I going to say? Umbrella Academy is over now too. Me and my boyfriend finished it in a week. I usually watch that with my family, but my mom had like no interest in really watching it right away. So I just ended up watching it with my boyfriend first. And we finished it, and then my mom and my brother finally saw the first 2 episodes, and they didn't really love it, so they haven't really been watching it. And I told them, since I saw most of it, that they can watch it when I'm not here, and they haven't, so. But anyway, I do have some things to look forward to in July. I'm actually going to the city next Sunday to see Thor with my friends, and I don't think I've actually seen a movie in the city before, unless I have, but it's been a long time since I have, because the last movie I saw was actually in Queens, which is close to the city, and that's where some of my friends live. So me and my friend, like, we have been trying to come to her sister more, because I'm very close with my friend that lives 5 minutes away from me, and then also her sister. So she lives like closer to the city. So we've been trying to make plans to come to her now over the summertime. So we went to see Jurassic World a couple weeks back in Queens, and then we're going to the city to see Thor. And I'm very excited for Thor. Since Doctor Strange was so disappointing, I'm really looking forward to Thor. I think it's gonna be better than Doctor Strange, and also because the Guardians are in it, from Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously, so I'm super pumped. And I'm probably gonna take the train with my friend into the city, because that's usually what we do, because again, me and her live so close to each other, so we just take the train together, so then I don't have to take the train by myself. And then we also take the train home together. So that'll be fun. So I'm really excited for that. And then the next weekend after that, I actually have plans to go to my friend's house, and that'll be our first official barbecue pool party day, because she doesn't have a big pool, but she has one of those elevated pools. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Velvetizer today. So I've been pulling out some other older powders in my collection. I'm not sure if this is if this is old at this point, but it's such a good powder that I wanted to start using it again. And it's so good. And it doesn't ever feel like heavy, and I use it like all throughout the T-zone, and it's just so good. So I'm just going to use that. And then to set my face, I'm going to go back into the Urban Decay powder. So anyway, and I love this ColourPop brush. It's so funny that I go in with all the expensive products, and I still love this powder brush from ColourPop from the Limoncello collection. It's so freaking good. I try to put a little bit more powder in this area, because sometimes I have a little bit of issues with putting bronzer and blush on, like getting it to stick to my skin. or like blend out properly. And I know it's not the blush or the brush. I know it's the way that I'm applying my foundation there. So, but oh my God, I forgot how good this foundation looks. Okay, and then to set my face, I'm just going to use the Milk Setting Spray. Y'all know that's my favorite. Okay, so now let's go back into the eyes. And I just want to grab my mascara that I'm using. This has become like a total mess again. It drives me cray-cray. And then I do want, I think I'm going to use my green liner today. So let's just do the eyeliner first, and then I'm going to fix a little bit of the eyeshadow off camera. But the face makeup looks really good, so I'm going to use the ColourPop liner in the shade, I believe this is called Mildew. The writing has worn off of this because I actually use this liner quite often. So I'm going to use that. I really wish that ColourPop would release just like a regular green liner in like more of like a mid-toned green, but they just haven't. I really don't know why. There's been quite a few things that have been limited on their website. Like restocking the Star Wars collection, restocking the Winnie the Pooh collection. It took them like a month to restock the Winnie the Pooh. And I don't think they have even restocked the Star Wars collection. And I know a lot of people are upset about that. So I don't know why they're not doing things that people want. But also, you know, the supply chain has kind of been out of control again lately. And there have been a lot of shortages for brands and for food and all of that. So, but they could like update their customers and say we have been having issues or something like that, rather than not saying anything. It's a little bit annoying for some people, but it doesn't affect me because I got both of those when they launched. But I really, really wanted the lip mask from the Winnie the Pooh collection, and those sold out so fast. And usually I am pretty good about jumping on releases, but I could not get those for the life of me. And I also jumped on a little late. I didn't get the stuff until like 10 minutes after it had launched, and those were already sold out because I wasn't sure if I was going to purchase that day. And then I was like, yeah, I kind of want it. So honestly, I also feel like if I used the Winnie the Pooh palette today, because there's a really good green shimmer in that palette, it would not have taken this much work to get it to adhere. Like, there is so much transfer in my crease right now, and I'm trying to get rid of that some more with using the mattes, and it's kind of been really difficult. Alright, I guess that's as good as it's gonna get, folks, because this is really annoying me. But also, like, I don't want to lose the shimmer on the lid, so it's just gonna be a really glittery crease. It's just, look at how much glitter is there. I'm not really feeling it that much. That's why I don't use this palette as much as I would like to. So now I'm just going to put on some lash primer. Just give me a sec. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the inner corner highlight. I think I'm going to use the shade Bastet, which is this gold shade on the inner corners. And I'm not trying to like discourage you from buying from Adept Cosmetics, but I am going to give you guys my honest opinion no matter what. And I'm going to tell you if something's worth the money, if it's not something that's exactly that affordable. Like, again, these aren't cheap eyeshadow palettes, and I'm gonna tell you guys whether or not I like something no matter what. And even if it's affordable, I'm gonna tell you whether or not it's worth spending your money on, if it's $10 or if it's $60. So, and I'm just telling you guys, this palette is hard to work with. I think that is pretty, yeah. So, what else was I going to tell you guys? I felt like there was something else I wanted to say. Now I can't remember. I didn't really sleep last night. It wasn't really a good time. I think I only got like 3 hours of sleep, so that's why my voice is a little raspy. Also, we don't really have any food for me to take to work today. I am taking some chips for a snack, but as far as dinner goes, I think I'm going to have to get a sushi roll from the place outside my store. It's like the cheapest in the mall because everything else is just not that cheap in my mall. We don't have a food court, which sucks. So, yeah, that's the sucky thing about working there, is that there's no food court. Okay, and then for my mascara, I'm going to use the Say mascara in Black Noir, and this came in my little sample set that I bought from Sephora. And I'm just going to take that. I mean, it's not like the look isn't pretty, because it actually is a really beautiful look, but that glitter transfer was annoying me, but it's kind of pretty. Because it's kind of giving a really pretty, like, sparkly effect all over the lid. I don't know if I love this mascara, though. I'm trying to see which one I'm going to end up getting the free full size of, because I bought this set because you can redeem a free full size at Sephora. Whichever one ends up being your favorite, you can get one full size. And I'm really leaning towards getting the Cali Ray one, because that actually ended up being my favorite next to the Item Beauty one. But I think the Item Beauty one is only like $15. But these are all new mascaras to me, and also new products to me from this brand, from these brands, because I've never tried any of these brands before. And I'm not really like in love with this Say mascara, so I'm not really sure. I'm just going to apply some to my bottom lashes, and then we'll do the cheeks. Okay, so let's finish up the face. So for bronzer, I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer. I've been kind of whipping this out again and using it, and it's such a pretty, like, caramelly brown shade, and I really like it for the spring and summertime, and it adds such a pretty bronze to my skin. And again, I've just been trying to rotate some other bronzers right now, and I kind of forget about this one sometimes, even though it is in front of me. But I have used it a few times this past spring, so I've just been trying to whip it out more. But yeah, like, I don't have any shows to watch now. I actually have been watching Workin' Moms on Netflix, and I'm on the 3rd season. And it's really, really funny. There are some things that are a little bit too much, like, comedy-wise. It kind of pushes the envelope quite a bit. But it's funny. It is very funny and entertaining. So for the blush, I'm going to use one of these Give Me Glow blushes. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the more vibrant one, or I'm just going to use the peachy one. Let's see, because I don't think I've used either of these on camera yet. I think I'm going to go in with the toned down one, just cause. And I'm going to use my ColourPop brush. I love this brush so much. I've been using my ColourPop brushes a ton. I don't know what blush I used yesterday, but it's kind of pigmented, so. But this one is definitely orangey enough. Oh, I didn't even use an orangey blush, I don't think. I can't remember what blush I used yesterday already. Great job, Caitlin. You're a champ. But these are so beautiful. They blend out so easily on the skin, and they feel like velvet. They're just, oh, they're so good. They feel like velvet suede blushes, kind of similar to the Lawless blushes. That's what I would compare this formula to. And they're so good. And I think they're coming out with more shades, and I'm so tempted to get more, but I don't need one more blush in my collection right now. I have way too much blush. All right, and then I'm just going to grab my highlighter. Okay, and then for the highlight, I'm going to use the Glam Light Pina Colada highlighter. I have used this a couple of times off camera, but like literally only twice. So I would like to use these again. And this is such a pretty like golden tone highlight. It's gorgeous. I love Glam Light's highlighters. I know everyone raves about their eyeshadows, but their highlighters are definitely getting some talk lately, and they are stunning. So I'm gonna use that. I could get it a little bit more pigmented. Yes, that is so pretty. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Did I do my Cupid's bow? I can't even remember. You guys could probably tell me since I just did it probably 2 seconds ago, but I already could not remember. That's not the greatest sign, you know? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see how that looks. It looks gorgeous. Gorgeous, darling. So are there any movie recommendations you guys recommend? I haven't really watched a new movie in a little while. I did watch Bad Guys myself, and I also watched Jurassic World, which was terrible. Bad Guys was really good. Highly recommend. And I did see Top Gun in theaters too. That was good too. Nothing like amazing, but it was good. All right, and then we'll just finish up with the lips. Okay, so for lip liner, I used the Minuteman shade from ColourPop, which is like my favorite warm toned lip liner. And then for the lips, I'm gonna use my new lippy from Give Me Glow. I'm gonna use the apricot. All That's Apricot. I always think it's called Apricot Me Not, but I think that's another lippy that I have. I forgot from what brand. But yeah, Stranger Things, so good. We're gonna have to wait a while for the next season, but the next season is actually the final season. People were actually thinking that this was the last season, but it's not. But they also said that it wasn't supposed to take as long to come out as this season did because of COVID and everything. And then also Umbrella Academy, the next season is going to be the last season. It actually has not been renewed for a 4th season yet, but they kind of need to give it one more season. But honestly, this season was my least favorite. It was okay. It wasn't like the best. It was good. It was good. But I thought the previous 2 seasons were just more fun. People are kind of getting sick of the whole apocalypse thing, but the special effects were incredible in this one. Netflix is really stepping up with the special effects. All right, I'm just going to apply this. I'm just going to finish applying it off camera. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Let me just take my hair down. So here are the eyes. I don't know if I'm really feeling the eyes that much. The cheeks and the lips. So everything else did come together, and these are products that I really, really love. Give Me Glow and Glam Light really don't do any wrong for me. They're both amazing. And I just love this lippy too. I don't know what the heck that is. I don't know if that's part of the lippy or some other situation. I think that's something else actually. But yeah, that's it, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and check out my Poshmark, please, at the same handle. I have sold some things lately and I have listed a lot of new stuff. So if you guys were interested in getting makeup at a really good price, check out my Poshmark at CBW819, and you guys can check it out and see what I am selling from my own personal collection that I just am decluttering, and would love for you guys to check it out. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I hope you guys have a great day. I love you so much. Bye.